Hello, class. I'm finally able to find some time to do some recording for this homework assignment. So let's go ahead and kind of recap what we talked about in class the other day because the audio kind of cut out when we started to talk about a new homework assignment. So here we have the information or the assignment sheet where we have all the commands that we need in order to create the database. And I have my sign in here, and I have created my own database. When you sign in as you, this is all you really need is to specify which database you are connecting to, because you are already, by default, you are connecting as the user ID that you're already in when you sign into the command line interface. So there's no need to specify -u and then the same username, but if you want to, it doesn't hurt to specify your username again after a -u. And then the -p at the end specifies that this account is protected by a password, and the password is now, interactively entered. You can put your password after the -p without the space, but that is not recommended because this way other people can actually see your password. All right, so let me enter my password here, and now I'm signed in. And I have not created a single table yet because when I say show tables, it is empty. So it's now time to create the actual table. And I'm just going to repeat or copy and paste the command that is already in the assignment sheet and put it here, press the enter key, and we have to double check to make sure that the query is reported okay. This time it says 0 row affected because I'm just creating a table, so there's no row affected. This is perfectly okay. And then the next thing we'll do is to create a few entries, but I am not going to copy and paste these exactly. So I will copy and even paste, but I'm going to go back and change a few things here. Okay. So we'll just say today is a good day to enjoy life. And current date is a macro, right here. I just want to take this opportunity to explain what it is. Current date is a macro to refer to the current date as far as the system is concerned. And we'll change these names a little bit. And we'll say this is number 1, which that's from a Star Trek: The Next Generation. Okay. This is Star. How is it called in Star Trek? Star log? I can't remember. Captain's log. So this is number 1's log. Number 1's log. And this part here is for the key, which is empty, is left empty because there's no need to specify. It is automatically generated. And when we press the enter key, it says there's one warning. The warning has to do with the key. I'm pretty sure about that. And then we'll create a few more entries. And today is a good day to die. That's a Klingon saying, which of course means this belongs to Mr. Worf. Okay. Okay, so this is Worf's blood journal. And let me try this. Let me see what happens without anything to specify for the first field. And it complains it doesn't like it. Okay. I'm pretty sure there's a way to specify this, but without a warning. The warning has to do with we did try to specify something for the field, and I'm pretty sure there's a way to specify what to put into the table without specifying the automatically generated field. Well, let's go find out how to do it. So when you are doing your own scripting outside of this class, this is also something that you probably will have to do, is to look up the reference documentation. In this case, it's under MySQL. This is an insert statement. And the first link is indeed what we're looking for. All right, so let's check out what it has to say. I have to put on my little clip-on glasses here because the text is actually very small on my screen. Let's see. All right, cool. So it allows us to specify optionally the column names before we specify the values. So that means in this case, we can do it like this. Let's specify another one here. Okay, today is a good day to read your mind. And this is going to be Deanna Troy's line. Deanna Troy. Okay. And we'll call this an INFP's journal. And this time we'll completely remove the first part. But then we also have to insert the, change the syntax a little bit by specifying this optional part, which is this part here. It uses square round parentheses. The square brackets are here to indicate this portion is optional, which means if it's not here, we are referring to all the columns. But if it is here, then we only have to specify the columns that we want to specify. So content ID, which is the first column, as we indicated here, is going to be the one that is missing. We'll have all of the other ones, which includes title. And then after title, we have author. After author, we got created. And then after created, we have the last one, which is content. All right, there we go. So let's see whether this will give us a warning or not. Aha! So this time it does not give us a warning because we did not try to specify the value of a field that is supposed to be automatically generated. Cool. All right, so let's give it a few more entries here. Today is a good day to imitate human emotions. And this is from my favorite character in the entire show. And that's Lieutenant Data. All right, so let's see, how should we call this journal here? I'm going to call this an INTP's journal. Okay. All right, well, I pressed the incorrect key when I was trying to enter that. All right, so let's check out what is already in the database. Select all from main content. And I forgot a semicolon here. So you can see that it is the last one with a content ID of 4 that has a title of an INTP when it was supposed to be an INTP's journal. Okay, let's fix that. This will use a statement in SQL called update. So it's going to be update table, and this is my main content. And then you have to say, what are we changing here? So we are setting the title field to become an INTP's journal. And then we have to say, which entry we are changing. So we say where content, oops, typo here, content ID equals to 4. Okay, I've got the wrong syntax here. I think maybe it's just update main content without the table. There we go. All right, so let's double check and see if we got that changed. Excellent. We got the title changed again from an INTP to an INTP's journal. And by the way, INFP and INTP refer to Myers-Briggs personality type indicators. And if you have time, you can look it up and find out what it is about. All right, so cool. The reason why I'm putting in these specific entries has to do with they're not sorted in any particular way. The author and the title and the content are not all sorted and in the same way. So this allows me to later on demonstrate how to sort the table in different ways. In fact, I don't have to go too far. I can say select star from main content, but this time we specify order by. Order by created is not going to be very interesting because they're all created on the same day because we did not specify the time, but we can make it ordered by, say, author. So you can see how the tribe starting with a D is the first one, Lieutenant Data starting with an L is the second one, and so on. We can also sort it by title. When we sort it by title, and INTP is the first, and when INFP is going to be the first, and INTP is the second. Number one's log is the third. Wolf's blood journal is the last one. So they are indeed sorted correctly. Or we can go by the default, which is sorted by the content ID. That's the key of this particular table. And now they're all sorted by content ID. So you can see how just by specifying order by, we can change the way the entries are retrieved. So that's it inside the MySQL here. To get out of the MySQL prompt, you can type quit, you can type exit, or you can type Control D on the keyboard to get out of the MySQL or MariaDB user interface. So now when I run my script, let me show you the script first, testdb.php, which is basically the same thing that I showed you in class because it is actually the same thing, with the only exception that the password function is called myPassword this time, and I'm also connecting to my own database instead of the database of a student. And then the rest of the program is the same. We have the fields, and we also have just select star from main content without the order by, which is okay. We'll figure out that part later on. So let's go ahead and run testdb.php, and you can see how it is printing all the journals, and this is all done by the default sorting order, which is ordered by the content ID, which is the key of the entire table.